quite low in South Asia in terms of its rank, and you can see that on the slide. Let me also show you a slide of Sri Lanka's score over the years, over different years. So you can see that in 2004 and 5, so that's the budget that was presented in 2004 for 2005, that's how these are all labeled. Sri Lanka had a score of 47 and rose up to 67 in 2008 to 9. So what we find is that Sri Lanka sometimes gets a higher score when it's trying to attract organizations like the International Monetary Fund to come and work with the country. Then it does better in terms of the openness of the budget and its transparency and accountability. But after that, the score has fallen to 46 to 39 and remains in that region at 44. So really, what we see from the past is that Sri Lanka is capable of doing a lot better in terms of the three things we talked about: disclosure in budget documents, budget oversight, and allowing public participation in the budget. But in the last 3 times the survey has been implemented, it gets implemented every 2 years or so, Sri Lanka has been quite low in the score that it has achieved. I want to go through the 3 areas, the disclosure of documents, budget oversight, and public participation, just to give you a little more insight into that. In terms of the disclosure of documents, you can see that Sri Lanka does a little better this year than the last time it was surveyed. That there is one document that was not available last time. So you can see on the dots, when it's red, the document was not available, or when it's yellow, it was incomplete or not adequate. When it is green, the document was available. So what's called the in-year report was not available last time in the last survey, but it's available this time. So there's a small marginal improvement in terms of documents that have been disclosed. In terms of public participation, you can see Sri Lanka's score against other countries in South Asia, and we only score better than Pakistan. So Nepal has done extremely well. Nepal was the country that had the lowest ranking in the last survey, and it has shown tremendous improvement in this survey, whereas Sri Lanka has not improved, and Sri Lanka has improved only slightly, and Pakistan has not done well enough either. So in public participation, Sri Lanka is coming at the bottom, almost at the bottom of the pack. And in terms of budget oversight, the survey looks at oversight in several ways. It looks at the parliamentary oversight of the budget, both in budget formulation and approval, but also in budget execution and audit. So you can see that the Parliament's ability to have oversight or control over the budget execution and audit is considered quite weak. It's actually the lowest level. The Parliament's oversight in budget formulation and approval is considered limited because Parliament gets involved in approving the budget but contributes very little to the formulation of the budget. But the audit oversight, that is, we have an Auditor General and he does perform some oversight activities on the budget. He provides adequate oversight, but unfortunately, if you read the Auditor General's reports in the last few years, you realize that the Auditor General is actually giving significant qualifications and negative comments on the budget formulation. And he is making comments that are equivalent to, in a private company, the auditor having serious concerns or refusing to approve the accounts of a private company. Those are so the Auditor General's comments on Sri Lanka's budget are equivalent to a qualification on audit or refusal to approve. That's how serious they are. But the fact that the Auditor General exists and provides a report is considered quite good.